Greetings, everyone. Today I had a conversation with one of my closest friends about my art business, but also just about what I felt was working or what I felt wasn't working. And one of the things that I just wanted to be clear about, because I feel like I had to make this clear as well to him, my business, the art I create, is not about me. I've noticed that a lot of times with art, and there's nothing wrong with this method. It's everyone has their different personality, their different methods that work for themselves. But mine in particular, my art has never been, or at least sharing my art has never been about me. Yeah, simple as that. It's never been about me. It's always been about identifying an emotion, identifying a theme, identifying something that we've all understood, all felt before. And then, as the audience or viewers, they are given the chance to acknowledge and see this emotion and use it as a mirror to see if that's something that they have within inside of them, to see that if it's something that they personally also need to work through, something that's also a block for them. And then upon recognizing themselves in it, then I can guide or facilitate them in creating something or bringing that emotion outside of themselves so they can get over that block, so that you can get over that block, so that you can be like, oh wow, okay, I was feeling this feeling of bitterness, excuse me, I was feeling this feeling of bitterness, and you mentioned it, you said it. Even some people that were inside of my art show said this. They're like, wow, you were talking about the feeling of delayed prayers. You were talking about feeling bitter because you haven't reached where you needed to be yet, or you haven't received what you know you are meant to receive, or you haven't been given the opportunities that you know that you would absolutely body, embody if you had the opportunity to. It's about that bitterness, that feeling that comes from that. They're like, oh wow, I noticed that. I noticed that in myself. And in noticing that, when we had our co-working session, when we had the co-creation section where we were all on mute, it's really just like a co-working session. Everybody puts each other on mute, and for 30 minutes we create, we make something using whatever medium you want to make, and you use that time to express what emotions you have or what thoughts you have about that emotion. So for bitterness in particular, I've had people play piano for it. I've had people write about it. I've had people create in whatever medium that they want to create about the bitterness or about the delayed prayers that they have been sitting on. And being able to work through that and actually get that emotion out onto the canvas or onto the paper, or however it is that you work through it, you are releasing a little bit of that tension, releasing that feeling of suppression, releasing that space that's been taking up inside of your mind and in your heart, releasing that onto something that you can tangibly see. And then in doing that, after that, you feel lighter. You might not feel completely solved by the end of it, but it gives you a time, an actual curated time that you're setting aside to work through these emotions, because at the end of the day, the only thing that is hindering you from moving forward in your life in the way that you want to is most likely an emotion. It's usually an emotion, usually something within that is fueling a belief And that belief is fueling your actions. Whether that is conscious or subconscious, it is affecting you. For an example, with me and my artwork, with the bitterness, my bitterness was coming from more so finding a place that felt like my own, specifically a home. And in working through all of these emotions about apartments and condos and like my parents' house and staying in dorms and then getting my own place but still having roommates, like all these different things, and working through that, there's a bitterness that was coming up, because it's like all I want is to have a place that's mine, that I can create and not have to deal with outside energies. You know, that was something that really means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. And bitterness was coming because I found that there was just so many obstacles, so many things in the way of me getting what I want. But I found out that it's not only the things that were happening in the physical, but the things that were in the spiritual, the things that were in the mental, the things that were stuck inside my body, specifically that bitterness of not really wanting to do anymore, not really wanting to move forward anymore, because there was a bitterness stuck in there, because there's this feeling of, okay, what's the point? I've tried all of this, I've done all of this, and nothing is working, like, and constantly feeling defeated and never feeling at home anywhere. And so in allowing myself to work through those feelings by creating this, I was able to step out of that and be able to see how it really was making me less empathetic to other people, how it was really making me disconnected from connecting with people, disconnected from doing the work that I love so much, being able to come on here and speak with you guys about emotions and how to do it for yourself. It was blocking me from doing that because all I could think about is the fact that when I go home, I feel like I'm in a war zone. And that was blocking me. So that's just a little bit of an example of how emotions will literally stop you from being the person and getting the things that you already have claim over. Like, everything that's yours is already yours, and it will always be yours, and it can never be taken away from you unless you refuse to acknowledge that it's yours, or unless you block yourself, or you keep yourself from actually going after and achieving whatever it is that you would like to achieve. So all that to say, I got on here to say that my work is not about you looking at a pretty picture that I made. My One Piece art shows are not about you coming to listen to me talk about why I made something and then you leave. It's about identifying an emotion, a theme, seeing yourself in it, and then being given a chance to create something from that emotion, to put that out on the paper, to really see yourself. My work is always a mirror. Take that as you will. But I just had to, clear that up. What did Kanye say? He said, wait. I'm gonna let you speak. But first, let me say this. This is my, I'm gonna let you speak, but first let me say this. It's never been about me. It's always been about you. Or, it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about the universal human experience, the human condition. It's about emotions. It's about the things that literally rule our world. Anyways, bye. Until next time.